Break the cycle of family dysfunctions. Disruptive relationships are passed down generationally normally. Have you ever witnessed or seen a family, maybe in the community, in the area where you stay, or maybe you've heard of your friends or family members speak of a certain family where, it's a generational sort of hand down. The parents resolve their issues by violent screaming and shouting. So therefore the children think that is how you resolve issues, violent screaming and shouting. Can this dysfunction within a family be removed from the family, and can you break that? I don't want to use the word, it's quite strong, but I will. Maybe this dysfunctional curse that some families place on their kids and their grandchildren. Today, to dive into the subject, Anna-Marie Meyer and Eddie Magane.
Thank you.
Welcome. Let's get into it. There are 7 steps to take to break this dysfunctional relationship or family hand down, if you may. The first step that you need to take is become aware of your family's disruptive relationship patterns.
Easier said than done, because that is what you grew up with.
It's normal.
It's normal to you. So regardless if it is that you grew up in a household that really lived below the bread level, if I can call it in that sense.
Or way above.
Or way above, you won't know, because that is what you're used to. So if it's screaming and shouting or real violence, that's what you're used to. But the moment you sit down, which you've got to remember, you do meet people around you and you see different families. So the moment you open up your world, decide what you think is disruptive.
Yeah.
Decide what you think is a dysfunction in your family. Because the moment you can pinpoint that, you can start working with those.
Absolutely.
So it's not that difficult. You just need to open up your eyes for the whole world.
Yeah.
And that's the second part. Take ownership of your own actions, attitudes, beliefs, and emotions. Take ownership.
Yeah. Remember, for so long as you see the problem external, if you don't see the problem here, then there's no problem to solve. As soon as you accept that I'm the problem, I need help, right there, that's a good start. You need to be able to care and think for those around you. You need to be able to admit that it all starts with me. I have this problem, and yes, I need to do something about it.
Absolutely. Very good point. Number 3, observe, compare, and contrast other families' interactions with how your family handles issues. So, for example, if I'm growing up in a household where mom screams and shouts and throws plates against the wall every time there's an argument, irrelevant for what, and I go visit a friend and I witness an argument where they have a sit down, they have a conversation, they have a proper debate. What about this? What about this? Immediately I'm comparing.
Yeah.
But this is not how we do it. Right now 17 plates would have been broken, and potentially pulling off each other by the hair, because that is real occurrences in some families, unfortunately. So comparing the two will make up your own mind what's right and what's wrong. Okay. Number 4, look at your present relationships currently.
Very important. Obviously, for a younger kid that hasn't been involved in a lot of relationships, it's going to be more difficult. But when you're older and you're already in a situation where you've got your own kids, for instance, or maybe just started off with a good relationship, it's very important to see if both parties are satisfied being there.
Yes.
You need to resolve, because it can't only go your way. A relationship is from 2 sides.
Give and take.
Give and take, and that works in every environment like that. So first of all, decide if this is a suitable answer for both parties. That's the most important.
100%. Number 5, ask for help.
Yeah. Remember, we most unlikely to know exactly where we go wrong, right? I always say the best way to play a match sometimes is to watch it from the reserve side. You understand the game better if you step outside. So whoever is watching, whoever is listening to you, be it a friend, a therapist, family member, a mentor, they'll be able to see exactly what needs to change, and they can guide you through the right paths.
Sometimes even a vicious cycle can be, let's say, in a person's marriage.
Yeah.
If you witness mom and dad's marriage is rocky and it's not in a good space, where you can go and take counsel for your own marriage is by people that are of a high temperature in that situation. So people that have been married for 50 years happily married. How do you know that? Their grandkids want to visit them the whole time. If the grandchildren don't want to visit them, there's an issue. So, if you don't mind me asking, help me with my marriage. How do I overcome this? Yeah. But that question doesn't get posed to somebody that's been divorced 4 times, because he's got no moral authority there. Yeah, if you want to know how to get divorced fast and quick, yes, potentially that's the person to speak to, but not towards a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage. Not that divorced people, please don't attack me, but I mean, you got it right 4 times, wrong rather than right. So I wouldn't come to you for help first.
Yeah. Funny enough for me, this hits home because I remember from childhood, there is a few tendencies that I've actually observed from my own home. And being so young, not knowing that I'd even be married one day, I pointed out a few things and I said, I want to be better at that and that and that and that. And I still remember those even today.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, because you're observant against other families and how they handle that issues, which brings us to number 6, practice. Healthy living is learning. Continuously be aware and understand different scenarios and situations. And practice. How do I get better at this? How do I get better at this? Sometimes I'm very emotional. Emotion goes through the roof. I sometimes lose control and I do things, but through practice, I'm not perfect and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting a lot better. Yeah. And that's from practice. I have to consciously practice and develop a skill.
That's true, because none of us just get it right from the go start. Even if you grew up in a healthy family, you don't get it right. You need to practice it.
Absolutely.
To be the fact that you had it, you still need to practice it.
Number 7, be patient with yourself and with others.
Well, I think I just said that pretty much. You grew up in a household like that. So don't expect to change within a year. Because especially if you grew up like that, you only from the age of about 14 realize this is something wrong. Because then you start seeing. But before that, you don't see it because that's what you're used to.
It's normal.
And it's just normal. So by 14 you meet friends, you go out. So either you can act that out or you can see if you've got a good friend. So then only you start. But the change doesn't start at that point in time. It's only once you get into relationships where you start thinking about marriage that you start realizing, okay, but I want it different. And then you start viewing it. So you've got this history of 16, 18 years behind you, sometimes more, and now you want to change it. It's going to take some time.
Absolutely.
Be nice to yourself. Jot it down. Say, listen, I need to change these things. I need to calm down. If I get into a fight, stop me and tell me that whatever you're now going to say is you can't take it back.
Can and will be used against you.
Yep. Speak to the person that's with you. To ask her advice. I'm not going to be upset if you do this. You give her the authority to stop you.
To check you, yeah. You have to have people like that in your life.
You have to.
100%. Those are the 7 steps to help you break the dysfunction of that vicious cycle within a family. Hope it helps you. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you apply them. If you feel that somebody needs to watch this episode, perhaps even a family member, please hit the like button and share it, as well as
and ring the bell.
And then
you need to subscribe.
Thank you very much. Take care and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.